This is my suitcase editing video. I had some great footage and documentation of me doing this. I was kind of breaking down how I made the ladder setup and how I did the backdrop. Talked about how I like the backdrop, but that footage sadly got destroyed. I would say I was shooting off my iPhone, so we had issues there. But I'm gonna try to at least give you guys the insight on how I go about things in post. So right now I use Camera Raw. Not really a fan. I'm not gonna say I'm not really a fan. I just don't use Adobe Lightroom. So a big thing, I was shooting outside, so a big thing you have to deal with is like the chromatic, I want to say it's called a chromatic abrasion, or I want to say abrasion, and it deals with basically how the light, it deals with the light and how it reflects into the lens and things like that. But on your edges you can get a lot of blues or a lot of reds depending on, you know, the angle or what time of day. So that's always something you have to take into consideration when you're shooting outside. So I decided to, you know, go with this pose I did here. I was at a suitcase and I opened the suitcase and had boots in there, and I was like, how can I play with this from a copy standpoint? How can I like play with the slogan if this was like an ad? So I ended up just standing barefoot trying to insinuate like this suitcase is so cool, you have to put everything in there, like even your shoes. You'll walk around barefooted just to put something in this bag. So I kind of went with that idea and I really enjoyed it. So things that you have to think about when you're shooting a bag is, of course, it's not a new bag, it's kind of an older bag, so you want to deal with the texture and make sure you're not like trying to make it look raggedy. So you got to play with like the darks and the lights, and I think I did pretty well. You know, I shot this bag full power on my speed, like nothing crazy, you know, but like you got to fight through that sun sometimes, and it could be a battle depending on the power and what your capabilities are with some of your equipment. But this came out pretty nice. Another thing I would like people to get from this video is that you don't need a big studio. You don't need all these fancy equipment to do things. Sometimes, you know, if you don't have it, and you just got to work with what you have. And here I am outside of a house, you know. My backdrop is 2 ladders and a steel rod going through the steps. So you can see me here kind of working with the feet. Don't mind my feet, you know. I need to get a pedicure. I'm gonna get a pedicure. Everybody, let's all calm down. Y'all can skip this if you want. But I kind of was trying to play with the idea of painting it, but I was like, you know what? Let me just kind of play and like just use certain tints just to take out some of that dryness in the toes, the toenails and stuff. So that was pretty funny. And you'll see after this, I start to go into dealing with debris. That's another thing. I was shooting outside. You got to deal with the debris sometimes, and sticks, and that's pretty easy. Use a clone stamp tool for that. So yeah, we all get that now. So from here, it's just maintenance, cleaning up, and then of course I'm gonna use the paintbrush tool because it's white, and my focal point, I mean my aperture is, you know, around 5.6, so it's not super descriptive in the background. So I was able to just use like a paintbrush and, you know, handle that. But at this point right here, I'm trying to deal with that bottom shadow. I'm trying to figure out how to go about this. So I think I ended up using Gaussian blur, and then, you know, pressing Alt on the I want to say the layer mask, or is it layer mask? I want to say it's a layer mask, and you know, painting in with the white and trying to just take away some of those hard wrinkles and those hard like transitions with the shadows. You can see how it kind of smooths out those transitions, makes them softer and not so much hard. So from there, I kind of just, sorry guys, it's a little dark down here. It's a little stuffy down here. From here, I kind of played with the clone stamp tool, but then I just came to the conclusion that you can just paint that out. And I think for my position, I'm trying to be a commercial photographer, as well as, you know, deal with graphic design elements. I feel like it's always good to play with the composition and you know, playing with the wording. So you'll see me here. I'm just trying to make sure at this point I'm trying to figure out where am I going to put this picture. So I'm thinking about a billboard, so that needs to be clean, or in a magazine, regardless of what where you want to put this composition, you want to make sure you bring a professional cleanliness to it. So I was, battling this bottom and trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. And you'll see at the end of this video, I actually took out my whole body in the suitcase and just put on a white background, and it ended up looking pretty nice. Because for this, it's white and black, so it's not too difficult. Other items you can run into the situation where you put on a blue background, and if you're not using the proper feathering or you're not selecting it correctly and going through those certain precautions, you can end up having a bad time, and it can come out looking a little amateur. So that's always something to take into account, understanding that it's always nice to have a background that's forgiving, or understanding what your background is going to require in preparation. So if you can make proper preparations to keep your subject and your items together and clean, you don't have to deal with a lot of issues or a lot of events when it comes to cleaning up the background, having to cut out the background. So from here, I was kind of playing with the type and trying to figure out what kind of slogan I would use. Once again, we're going back to the poster or the billboard. I kind of ended up going with a simpler, I think it was like 4 letters. Why not overpack? I want to say, yeah. Why not overpack? And that's another thing when it comes to graphic design. You want something to hit hard and fast, and and get people's going, striking motion. You don't want to go over. In my opinion, I'm not really a overly typed kind of person, so I don't tend to go crazy on type. And for this is like a poster, it's like introducing something, and I wish I could have put the logo in it, but that's okay. It's really just for like photography or demonstration purposes. But I think it went out well. I ended up using that slogan there. I think I took out the comma. Yeah, I took out the comma, and I like it. It's like quick. If it's on a bus or the airport, people walk and they look at it and they're like, oh, that's they kind of see the correlation. They probably see, in my opinion, I see why not pack first, and then I go up to the shoes, and then it's like to the feet. So I like how it carries the eye, and through your eyes reading this poster, you kind of go through the story of how things are delivered to you. I want you to think about, why should I not pack it? It's like you see these boots, like, what's going on here? He has no feet on, and then it's like, not no feet on, but no shoes on, and it's like, oh, the bag is so great, I'll pack anything in there, even my shoes. It doesn't matter. So things like that, I feel like help a graphic designer or even a photographer at times. So I really enjoyed it. It was hot, so things were overheating. So I'm gonna definitely pick the morning time to tackle subjects. But all in all, it went well. So from here, you can see my blown out version on a white background. I think it does look cleaner. I think it'll be better on a commerce site, not to have too many shadows or anything. It's just like accentuating the product. The only thing I would think about that I should have done different is maybe add another light, take it down a couple stops, just to help that right side a little bit more. Because when it comes back to products, you want to look at the whole thing. You don't want to be like left in the suspense about one side of the product or vice versa. So that's something I would definitely have brought in if I could do it over. And I have a reflector, so that's something I definitely will keep note on and make sure I keep tackling that I guess that goal. Because right now I want to do better on my lighting. My lighting isn't the best, and I know I need to work on that. So taking notes and actually even reviewing this even helps me, and I hope it helps you guys watching. So from here, I got another video for you guys. It's 2 brown briefcases. I think they'll be pretty cool. And leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave the bell, ring the bell, whatever you gotta do. I'm not sure how this stuff works anymore, but let's leave a dialogue in the comment section, whether that be what's a difficult product that you have shot, or just leave a dialogue about how you can make your own studio, and how cheap and effective things that can help someone who lacks all this crazy equipment. So on that note, I'll say peace to you guys, and I'll be back for another video. Like I said, subscribe and like. See you guys later.